Hey, good afternoon. It's Tuba Billy riding off into the sunset at the end of a long day. So it's been an eventful weekend. Saturday we went to go see a friend of ours get baptized, which was really exciting. And we got back. It's probably around 7:30 at night. So it was dark, time change, and all that stuff. Well, Sunday morning, I get up and I leave early because I've got meetings at church before church, being in leadership, and then while I'm in my meeting, my wife calls, and I know that she knows that I'm in a meeting, and she wouldn't call unless something were wrong. And so I excuse myself from the meeting and I go to answer the phone. She says the tire's flat. Now, we have a rental car right now, a rental van, because our van is in the shop because a few weeks ago, actually several weeks ago now, we were rear-ended by a 1987 F-350 with a deer bar, roll bar, whatever, a cage on the front. So it obliterated our back end. Anyway, didn't total, but a whole new back end. But anyway, quoted 6 days to fix it, and we're now in our third week with this Chrysler minivan. We don't like it. Anyway, so she calls me that the tire's flat. I mean, there's really not much I can do. She calls a friend who can give her a ride, and all 4 kids. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just look at it afterwards. So after church, I get there, get home, and look at the tire, pull it off, and I expect every inch of it, of the tread, expected to see a nail or something. Nothing. I even start picking out some of the little pebbles, thinking maybe they're like a little finishing nail that got stuck in there. No, there's just rocks. There's no reason that it should be flat. And so I take it over to the compressor and start to fill it up. And then all of a sudden I start feeling air blowing right on my face. I'm like, well, that's not normal. And I've got it, laying flat on the ground. So then I look real close, and sure enough, there are 6 little, half-inch to 1-inch gashes in the sidewall of our tire. Somebody freaking slashed our tires. Now, where we live, it was kind of like this right here. It is country minus all of that. But we're on the country. And really, we know our neighbors. The only thing that I can think of was earlier on Saturday, there were a couple of boys that were playing in our backyard with our kids. And they were playing a little too rough, doing sword fights with sticks and stuff. And I said, hey, no, we're not going to do that because I don't want them getting hurt on my property. And so I said, no sword fights with the sticks. And I go inside for a split second, and I hear somebody screaming. It's like, you hit me in the effing face. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I go, all right, who was that? What happened? It's like, oh, he hit me. And so then the other kid was like, oh, he yelled, he said it. I said, well, he said it because you hit him. You can both go. You cannot play in our yard. You're done. Go home. I said, I've warned you once. Actually, I've warned them many times. It's like, stuff like that, playing rough, hitting each other, and foul language are not welcome at our house. And so they're of course dejected and mad and go storming off. That's the only thing that I can think. Now, I have absolutely no evidence, no proof, other than just knowing what type of family these boys are in. And I don't know. But anyway, our tires were slashed. Our tire was slashed. And so Monday, this morning, I called Enterprise and said, hey, actually Sunday I called the roadside and asked, hey, I'm able to put the spare tire on. I just want to know if I'm allowed to, basically. And of course, you know, they outsource their call center, so I could barely understand the guy. And finally understood, yes, I can put the spare tire on. So I did, so that we could, you know, go about what we needed to do on a Sunday afternoon. And so then this morning I called Enterprise back, and they scheduled a replacement so they can exchange the van. And I get there right after 8, and I noticed the parking lot is pretty bare. I was like, oh, great. And they had no minivans. They had nothing equivalent. They're like, oh, well, to get you out in a hurry, we've got a pickup truck that's available. I was like, I've got 4 kids, 3 of them are in car seats. That's not going to work. I'm like, oh. So they said, well, we can get one brought in. It'll be about 2 or 3 hours. I was like, I've got to get to work. So finally one of them says, hey, you know, there's a tire shop in town that we use. Your best bet is probably take it to them, and once, you know, tell them it's an Enterprise car, and, you know, they'll fix it. So give them a call. They've got it in stock. It'll take about an hour. So I run to the tire shop, hour and a half. It's closer to 2 hours later. Finally get it done, and I leave. Finally get back to work. I'm just like, good grief. It was insane. But I do want to say something about this spare. Now, this spare tire that I saw was, I mean, it was the rim and then maybe an inch of rubber. I was like, what in the world is this? How is this a spare tire? 1 inch of rubber, and it wasn't even hard. It wasn't inflated. It was really soft. And, oh, dang. That hurts. And, I was like, man. So I pulled out the user manual, started reading. It says inflate to 60 psi. I was like, okay. So I started inflating it to psi. The freaking thing expands from inside the rim. I was like, whoa. It was the wackiest thing. It was like a reminded me of like a mushroom time lapse, like blowing up out of inside the rim. It was crazy. So anyway, that it got us through, got us a new tire. And we're just hoping that we get our van back soon, because, man, when you get used to what, you know, you have and all the different, you know, not quirks, but the different things of your van, of your vehicle, to have something different for a temporary time is kind of frustrating. So we really want it back, but we also want them to fix it correctly. So hopefully we'll have it back soon. We're now into the 3rd week of our 6 days to fix the van. Kind of like our 2-year anniversary of 2 weeks to flatten the curb. Anyway. So that's been my day today. And then, of course, I had a bunch of kids at the office today working on their projects and portfolios and stuff like that. And then we went and out did a community service, came back, answered some emails, and now it's quitting time, heading home. So that's a recap of my day. It's been a day, I tell you what. But I am ready to just go and veg a little bit, but I'm not going to get to, because, you know, having 4 kids at home, you don't get to veg at all. Just please, as always, remember, be excellent to each other. Tuba Billy signing out. God be with you till we meet again.